those guys are to see them start where we're at and give us the chance to show what we can, hey, join us. And they did. They took a chance on us because that's a cool thing too. Remember, these guys have been offered to go to major teams and go play, but they took a chance on us. And then when they do that, they've done so well, they go and look what they're doing now. And that's, like I said, that's just a blessing in its own.
I think the minute I stepped on a practice field for rugby, the calling happened.
An 8-year plan to be on the team. And I was in it within 2 years.
Don't wait until you are a pro to be a pro. Right.
And I walk around with a rugby ball sometimes and they're like, what is this child on?
It looked like it was heavy. Yeah.
It's up, it's not the option.
That's the first time I played like professionally.
I'm making rugby money. How can I make money outside of it?
And there's 2 Scottish guys and they said, oh, you're here for the movie.
That rugby is a game for all shapes and sizes, all cultural aspects.
He looked at me and he says, you guys are awesome.
Grow rugby, 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 grow rugby.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Grow Rugby. My name is GiftTime and Bailey, and this is the show where we speak to people about the opportunities they have found, created, or taken advantage of via rugby. Man, I know it has been way too long since I've been back, and we a lot's gone on, brother got married, we got a whole new year. We, well, actually, it's just been basically that, just marriage and setting up, and just a lot just happened. But I hope you guys know I've missed you soundly, and I hope you guys have done well, and I hope you're continuing off on another great year ahead of you. We're kind of sort of slowly bringing back Grow Rugby, so I'm not yet on the week-to-week basis yet because we're trying to still get the HBC Rugby Classic going on March 26th and 27th of this year. We are still working on trying to get settled into one place. I have yet to be in one location for longer than a month at any one time, and I'm still not going to be, so it's hard to be able to set up the interviews, but we'll be coming back with quite a few, definitely some leading up to the HBC Rugby Classic, and then kind of back to expansion and getting more range by the summertime, and really get back into the rhythm of things through 2022 moving forward, because this is always fun, and this is great, and I miss being able to bring stuff to you guys. So speaking of HBC Rugby Classic, this is the sponsor. Check out hbcrugbyclassic.com. We have the comeback. We're bringing in more teams. We got international from Jamaica taking on roots. We're bringing out a whole new high school side, and of course, the HBCU showdown, finding out who's the best, and we're seeing an expansion of the HBCU rugby schools and programs developing more and more every year. It's exciting to me. So definitely go check out hbcrugbyclassic.com. Go ahead and grab your tickets. Get on down here to Baton Rouge. Let's make this happen. This is about to be a real thing, guys. I can't wait. Today, I bring to you guys a guy that I've known for a while, almost. It's been a year or two, a little bit now. It's been a few years now, but, great energy. He's been running it down in Atlanta. He's out of Panama City, but he's been running the Optimus Rugby program, which is a travel sevens program based out of Atlanta. And he has now officially moved up to the developmental program known as the Hartford Harpooners. This is my guy, Mark Diaz. Bring him onto the show. I want to hear claps. We had a great conversation, have an amazing battle that they're about to face as the Harpooners take on the Seattle Seawolves. It's going to be on Friday, January 28th, the day after this podcast is dropped. And guys, I'm telling you, it is going to be worth it. He has been winning since he really kicked up onto the scene last year for sure with Optimus. So look out for it. We had a great conversation deep into what it takes to be able to get to this point. You guys are going to really enjoy it. So I'm not going to hold you guys back any longer. Check this out. This is how rusty I am. Let me do this again. This is Mark Diaz, head coach for Hartford Rugby, Hartford Harpooners Rugby. Check
rugby, grow rugby, grow rugby, grow rugby, grow rugby, grow rugby, grow rugby, let go to rock.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Grow Rugby. My name is GiftTime and Bailey, and I got a special V-I, extra P or extra I, or extra V, double V, double I, P. Very, very important person. Yeah, I would do that. This man been winning tournaments, took a team from Atlanta that was motley, took them, started whopping people, said, hey, man, I need to take my talents up north, and said, hey, let me start working with these Hartford Harpooners. Mark Diaz. Mark, bro, thank you for coming through.
Oh, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you back in action. I'm so happy, man. And the introduction, it got me hyped, man. I can't stop cheesing. I'm hyped now, man. I'm ready to go now. We can go play right now. You know, matter of fact, they need to go ahead and make you the announcer for the game, because then if we do that, I know it's over with. It's over.
We are setting it up. We're setting the new year right.
Yes.
Man,
I gotta fly you there Friday, man.
Man, no, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Man, look, let's put it out there. You know, we did one of these literally, I think it was like a year ago exactly. Maybe I think it was almost a year ago exactly. We were like, let's run it back again because, you know, we want to make sure it gets ready. But I'm feeling the energy. You're good and ready now. You've seen some things, all right? You've gone places.
Yeah, I grew up a little bit. You let me grow. You let me be myself, you know what I mean? And so now, yeah, I'm ready now. That first one, we're going to go, that's a do-over. This is a do-over. We were already supposed to talk about that last one. See, you put me on blast already.
Hey, this is what we do. We stay honest here, baby.
That first interview is a do. This is the do-over. Yeah, I mean, this is a do-over.
For what it's worth, the first one was great for me, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna let you come back. I was like, let's do this again. But no, so as a result of us doing this again, we're gonna start from the beginning because, you know, we got to get the full story. We got to get the superhero story. So as I always tell people, first interview of 2022, because there's not gonna be anything about changing this. My brother, what is your superhero origin story? How did you get started in rugby?
Okay, so my first time playing rugby and introduced to rugby was a game. I'm at Frank Baum Park goofing around in Panama City Beach. I'm with some buddies of mine. There's a dude about my height. I'm not a big guy. There's a dude about my height. He pulls up in this big, crazy-looking green van. His name is Mark Young, and his nickname is Angus. And he's actually, a cool fact about Angus, I always give him credit. He's the one that started this monster, but he's also one of the managers for the All Blacks. Whenever they come into the U.S. and play games, they always call him, and he drives them around and does a bunch of cool stuff. So he actually started a team in Panama City Beach, Florida, called the Hurricanes. And I'm in Frank Brown Park playing flag football, goofing around, and he comes and he watches me run, and he says, hey, you want to play rugby? Had no clue what it was whatsoever. I said, sure, I'll give it a chance. And literally, like a total bonehead, I get in a stranger's van and I drive in around the corner with my cleats, don't know where I'm going, don't know this. I literally jump in this van like a little kid and I drive over to this field and I see all these big, large dudes, you know, and we're playing my first rugby game with all these dudes bigger than me, you know, they're ready to go. And that was my first game. He says, hey, get on the wing and this is what I'm going to show you what to do. And that was it. He put a veteran right next to me and my first introduction to rugby was a real game.
See, you know, that's I like the fact that he didn't have to use candy to coerce you in there, you know. He said, hey, it's okay. Hey, you're going to be safe. Just jump in the van. Do you want to let you know one of your friends called me over. He called me over.
Hey, I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, cool. I literally grabbed my stuff and jumped in his van. Perfect stranger. Didn't remember day in his life. Jumped in his van, and like after I thought about it, I was like, I literally jumped in a stranger's van.
Honestly, I respect it. I say this is where you go. Like this is where you say, I'm living YOLO. All right, like you only live once. Why not? We'll see what happens. If they kidnap me, hey, they're not gonna get very much, or maybe they'll get something. But at least, hey, look, I feel good. You know, thrash around a little bit, make them earn it. But they got you some good rugby, so that's a big plus.
Yeah, that was it, man.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, man. Good times. And so I built myself from there. A couple injuries set me back. and I wanted to come back and play again because, you always try to better yourself, or you're trying to come back better. I was a little bummed out because my legs have always been the strongest part of my body. I'm not a short guy. And when I blew my knee out, I couldn't believe it. And, I drove around with Angus and I played in a lot of high level tournaments. He's took me all over the country playing in them. And when I hurt myself, I couldn't believe it. And I tried to come back a little bit stronger. And there was a buddy of mine, his name is Marcus Satava, who's a former USA Eagle.
Nice.
Came to visit me one day. And no lie, he was honest. Like, Marcus, if you know Marcus is not going to hold back any punches. He's going to keep it real with you. He was like, dude, you're fat. And I was like, okay.
Hey, I was like, okay.
He was like, he kept it real. He's like, if you want to play at the level I know you can play at, you have to lose weight and get back into shape, because I'm not giving you a homeboy pass. Like, straight up, like, I'm not giving you a homeboy pass to be on this team that I'm trying to create or do anything. And so I was like, all right, fair enough. So I'm a competitive person. I got in shape, got in a couple tournaments, and we met Optimus, the Optimus boys out of Atlanta. And I meshed really well with Rhonda Mundy and the boys. Like, we just literally clicked. And we started traveling. And, before you know it, the boys had let me go ahead and, be a captain. And the captain went from helping to manage. And just our we just like brothers, man. We were cool. And, Marcus came back along, and, him and I kind of said, hey, look, let's do something cool together, because he's the one that actually helped me, get back in the swing of things and trying to be better. So he has a team that he's trying to make an MLR team. And so he said, hey, man, come with me. You know how to do some things, and I know a lot of people. Let's work together. So, it's been cool ever since, man. We've been rocking ever since. I mean, the Optimus boys always have a place in my heart. That was fun. But this was the thing that's something special I wanted to do with my friend, because he's my friend outside of rugby.
That's awesome.
During rugby, we butt heads, not gonna lie, but we have.
Of course.
But outside of rugby, that's my boy, man.
It's all love. It's always love that's there. It's just a factor. It's like, look, man, we're getting on the field. Love plus the competition. Look, it's supplemental until we get back out. So no, yes. I understand where that comes from. So you're talking about that time, just going from initially even just going flag football to rugby. For you, what was that moment? Because I think for most of us, we always have that football background. And I think even a lot of us, I know for me, whenever I did flag football or I did like a little bit of tackle football before I played rugby, that was just kind of the supplement for like, okay, I don't play football anymore, but I need to do something, because once you're a contact guy, you almost always feel like you're a contact guy. So for you, whenever you maneuvered from football to rugby, what was one of the challenges that you had with the transition, if you had one?
Okay, so this is really funny. Nobody has really taught me rugby ever. So I'm used to running out of bounds. If somebody's going to hit you right before, I'm a smaller, faster guy. Now, I do have some burners on me, but I'm thinking clock management, things or whatsoever. And so I'm gassing people, no lie, gassing people like a big dummy. I either run out of bounds, or I don't know, I forget to put the ball down. Because I'm thinking when you score a try, you can just, you're good. You pass the line, everybody's cool.
Cross the line,
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. Oh, man. Yeah, I learned the hard way several times of not running out of bounds, and everybody's mad at me, like, what are you doing? And the crazy part is, a lot of guys are so caught in emotion, they don't know how to explain things to you.
Right.
And so I'm literally hauling butt out of the field, boom, burning 2 or 3 people. And then I'll see somebody coming, and I figure if I run out of bounds, we can stop right here and just start all over again. I can catch my breath and get the ball back and go score. And so like everybody's looking at me, and I'm in my head, why are we losing the ball? And my teammates are looking at me crazy, you know what I mean? And I'm just figuring, hey, if I can gather my breath, I can still score another try, because I was being cocky. I knew I was that fast. And so I said, okay, cool. I just run out of bounds right here, get my breath, go on the other side, get the ball back and score. And I did it probably about 5 or 6 different times, just running clean out of bounds. So
this is the epitome of like no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
Like you're like, yo, I was trying to help. I'm trying to work myself out. Why is everybody so mad? I'm doing it for you guys.
Yeah. It was too. Like, it was so funny, because I'm thinking of this, like, man, I got like 80 yards. I'm thinking in my head football yards too. Man, I'm thinking in I know it sounds silly. I'm like, I wonder how many rushing yards. Like, I look like a kid, because I'm in my early 20s.
I'm not going to front with you. This is exactly the same thing I thought too. I was like, yo, how do we calculate this? I kind of want to know exactly the amount that we got from all this.
Yeah. So that was probably the hardest thing, running out of bounds. And like I said, just running out of bounds and making sure to put the ball down the try zone. Yeah.
So for you then, when was the moment that you felt like kind of it clicked for you with rugby? Like you kind of you felt the flow, you felt like you understood what you needed to see. It was more than just I'm gonna just tackle, I'm gonna just run, but it felt like you started to see the field.
The craziest thing, when I got injured, after I blew my knee out, I got smarter playing rugby. I wasn't as fast. I had to listen. When you're athletic, you don't listen. You really don't. You don't listen. Very few people do that.
Make it happen.
Yes. You watch everybody else. You do everything else. And I realized, wow, I'm not as fast as I used to be, because that's all I was. And then now I had to think, because people were catching me. Because before, I'm being out, like, it was very hard. And I can confidently say, not very many people could catch me. And then all of a sudden, you blow your knee out, and then wow, you're getting caught. Like, you're getting walked. Like, you're used to breaking, but you don't have that oomph like you used to, and it takes a while to get it back. And me not listening, not paying attention, I'm coming back sooner than when I'm supposed to. Anyway, I played in a tournament when I had a full limp, and I'm still running long and I'm crazy. Like I said, I get caught. So the craziest thing is I had to start paying attention. I started listening, because that was the hardest part. Like I said, when you're athletic, you don't pay attention as much. You just kind of go with the flow. But then when I got injured, I actually had to start paying attention and start being smarter. And also, when Angus was taking me to the higher level tournaments, these guys that are older, they're not burning all the energy that I'm burning. They're not doing all this crazy stuff. And I'm watching, I'm listening to them, like, wow, this dude literally played the whole game and he still has gas in the tank. And here I am running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and my tongue is out, you know what I mean? Just looking crazy. I'm out of gas, I'm breathing hard, trying to catch my breath, and this dude is just balling out. And so then, learning, so after my injury, I'll say I learned to play and I learned to respect the game a little bit more and learn to really care about what's going on. But it took an injury and for me to slow down to pay attention,
I can feel that. I feel like the same thing kind of happened with me after, because I never retired from rugby. That's not a thing. But like whenever I stopped playing league rugby, playing the week-to-week matches, and you started being able to watch the games from the media standpoint, it started recognizing those patterns, and you start to feel that, like, man, people are catching me a little bit more. For me, the strength was always there, but like it's that burst, that second step that usually you would be like, okay, I know I'm not gonna get caught right in the back, and it starts to lose that slip. You start to being like, okay, let me look for the pass. Let me see how this can branch off. The ego's still there, but it's just like maybe I can come back around on it. It's a weird transition. It always sucks that it has to happen whenever you're like on the slip, but it's it's at least good, You're just like, okay, now maybe I'm getting to see this. Like, how long was it into playing that you blew out your knee?
Which time, man? I'm on the third knee surgery. Listen, I'm on the third knee surgery, man. Every time I was young and crazy. And so one thing I will tell a lot of high-end athletes is listen to your trainer, listen to your doctor. Don't be silly. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not getting paid to do this.
Right.
Heal. I was so competitive and so hungry that literally I felt like, my knee's good. Yeah, the doctor's all right. I've been through this before. Let's go. Then you're running before you know you make one hard stop, boom. You know what I mean? And you're back to square one all over again.
Right.
So I was the first time I blew my knee out, I came back in 3 months. Literally. In 3.5 months on the ACL, MCL, PCL, meniscus, I was playing in a full tournament. Sevens tournament.
Was your leg running on air? Like what the heck was it?
I had a little. You would have thought one leg was shorter than the other. I literally was like wobbling, but I was moving, buddy. I got some tape. You'll be like, wow, I was moving pretty damn good. I got to give myself some credit. But now that I watch myself, I'm like, what a dummy. What a dummy. You know what I mean? like that's what a dummy. And I went to another tournament, guys. I literally stepped the wrong way. So I went through playing, and all I did was step the wrong way and pow. And that was the big one because they had to take the screws out, fill the holes up with bone chip, let it heal, and then go back in and redo everything.
Oh, wow.
And that set me, that's when the weight loss, that was when the weight gain came. And, just being out. I was out for like
you can't do anything.
Yeah. And then, of course, your brain, oh man, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I was always used to coming back. But it was crazy because, it wasn't comeback as easy. I was probably sat out for about 2-3 years of not playing.
Oh, that was real setback.
It was that bad. Yeah, my knee was that bad. I was playing on it. Like I said, I was playing on it reckless, being youthful, thinking I'm okay. And then finally when they opened it up, a lot of damage in there. And so, had to have it. It took a while. So, yeah, man.
So you're moving to coaching. Was that motivated by the leg injuries, or was it just something that ended up coming because you were already talking about whenever you moved to Optimus, you were able to be a captain and then continue being able to teach and now get into as a coach. Was that something that's always been in your system? Like you've coached in other mediums and you found yourself doing it again, or was this something that was a surprise for you?
Well, I had to look at it. I had to be honest with myself. I love sevens with Father Time.
Right.
It's people say, oh, age is not a number. Yeah, but no, be realistic. You know what I mean? Right. It closes in on us. And I said, look, I still want to be a part of this. And I was still able to play. I literally just stopped playing. I would probably say about 4 to 5 months ago. I just stopped playing because I have to have another knee surgery. So, and I do have to have another knee surgery. And so,
God bless you.
Now, granted, I knew this was kind of like a farewell Kobe tour. You know what I mean? I should have used the goat. But I was like, my ACL was torn. I knew it was torn. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to play. I'm going to use all the tape in the world. I've already been through it a couple times. I know if I don't step this way, if I just run in a hard line, I got a little weight behind me now. I got a little big boy weight, I'm like 200 pounds now. I'm like, if I just run straight, no cutting, I'm good to go. Oh, no. It didn't work out as well as I wanted to. I didn't know. No, man, I tried. Because I use all kinds of tape. I tried to play in the Classic Eagles game at the IMG Academy. It was awesome. It just realistically the knee you just got to know when to chill. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. I had to chill.
I mean, I feel like after 3-4 knee surgeries, I don't even feel like you really have. I feel like your body's telling you, yo, relax. All right, relax. How much arthritis do you want to have at 85?
yeah, exactly, and it is wild too because I got put on a waiting list for my knee, because the doctor's like, he goes, this surgery's gonna take a while because of everything we got to do. So I'm just gonna set you aside and tell you when I have time for you. Realistically, he was being honest. He was like, because it's gonna be a while. So I'm gonna get my surgery done at one of the best places in the state of Florida, the Andrews Institute. So that's kind of cool. I'm happy about that. But it's gonna be a minute. So I'm taking my time, just waiting on my slot. So hopefully everything will be all right. But I still want to play. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to be healthy when I do it. I'm not going to.
I feel like that's always that never gets out of the body. And thankfully, at least with rugby, you might not be able to go to elite level rugby at the same weight, but rugby doesn't have an age limit in the sense you can only play till XYZ and then it's done. You could play till 80. It's just a factor of what the level of competition that you're going to. And you'll find yourself, and especially if you keep young guys around you, you're always going to have that little bit of a push. So it never escapes, right?
Yeah. And they did motivate. It does motivate you seeing those guys play. And, when I first experienced playing against the Classic Eagles, those guys are older than I am, and they are balling out. I mean, they gave us that first game. They gave us the business. They beat us. They gave us Paul Holmes and his team gave us the business. The first game, they gave it to us. No lie. They gave us and there was nothing we could do about it. They beat us. And then luckily that second game, we came back and we won. But that first game, that set the standard. They let us know, hey, don't let age fool you. We're here.
That's one part that I learned, and especially younger, is for some reason, the older rugby players that I've dealt with, it's almost like their bodies become rock. And so they're not fast. But every time you try and hit them, it's just like, yo, why does this hurt? This doesn't make sense.
It's a piece of granite. It's like a piece of granite. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm like, yo, what did you cut? You're not cut. You're just stone. You're stone.
Yes.
How do you get to this point? What level of man, it's a while. But that's what I've seen with those Classic Eagles. It is dope to be able to witness, knowing that there is so much further you can still go and still be effective. It might not be to win it all, but you can put some damage out there. Like when they say old man strength is a thing, like it's a real thing.
It's true. It is real. It is real. When you see an older man that's shaped like a box, like he's literally he's shaped like a square, and he walks like a square, and he looks like a square. His legs are like this big around and like the same size as his thigh. You're in for a very long day. As I call it, a square man. You know what I mean? Square head, square man, fat cheeks. I'm like, yeah, man, you're in for a long day. It's gonna hurt.
That is absolute facts. Like, but I love that. I love the fact of being able to see that. So for you then, what made you decide to start trying to coach despite playing? And I know the ACL, but like even at that, you could have just rested up, or it could have just been like working with the players until you can get back on the field. Why coaching for you?
Well, I've always been an underdog. Okay, I'm not making it about myself.
Make it about yourself. Make it about yourself. All right, you get hyped on yourself. You create this Disney story.
I have always been an underdog. Okay, I'm a short guy with big hands and long arms, so I'm very weird proportioned. Okay, I got short legs. I'm 5 foot nothing. I got long arms and big hands. So I've always been weird in other sports, and I've always been the underdog. And I said, you know what? I am so competitive because I really am. Anybody who knows me knows I'm very, very competitive. But I said, you know what? I can probably recruit. I've always had the gift of gab. I know I can recruit people. I like being around people. And I said, what if I find like the Optimus boys? Those guys can play. And I know they can play because I've been around them. And I say, wow, what if we give some underdogs a chance to play at a top level so people can see them? And that's been my thing. I say, you know what? I want to do this. I said, this is great. Let's go ahead and let's make it happen. And so it's been working. Marcus and I have tried our best to make this the best platform possible. And it's actually working very well for us right now. It's been a blessing, the opportunities we've had to play. Like I said, we went to Denver and played the XOs. Now they're called the American Rappers. We played them twice. We've been to Houston, played HTX. Now, like I said, we got invited by Paul Holmes at the IMG Academy to play the Classic Eagles. We just went to Freetail Sevens and won the Sevens tournament. Yes, I'm flexing in that because I told them we were going to win, and we won.
Let's go. Let's go.
I told them if they let me in, I said if they let the Wolf in, we're going to win. And granted, they let me in, and we kicked the door in. Wow, I told them we were going to win, but here's the best part. The ladies, I brought some ladies, and they did just as well. This is the first time we brought a ladies team, and it was awesome. They did well. They bonded, they listened, and they did their own thing, man. The women really, really just made me very, very happy. They just did everything. They took the whole thing and ran with it. And like I said, they did well. They won a bowl. They won the bowl game.
Nice.
So we ended up with a bowl. So it was good.
Great start to it all.
Yep. Great start to it all. But yeah, man, the coaching thing, I thought that this would be the best opportunity to give the underdog a chance to play at the top level or be exposed to the top level play so they can move on. So like I said, if you play for us and somebody pays you to go make some money, go for it. We want you to leave. I want you to go. Marcus wants you to leave too. The whole goal is, like I said, produce underdogs. Get these guys that nobody knows and ladies. And if a team is going to pay you to go play, whether it doesn't matter where it's at, I want you to go because that's awesome. That's the whole goal, get you paid.
Man, that's real. That's real. So, for you, there's the components of that coaching, and you mentioned it already. It's how do you acquire the team? How do you acquire your players? How do you develop your players? How do you execute with your players? For you, you talk about the gift of gab, and when it comes to recruiting, what is it that you feel is one of the maybe core pillars to how you go about recruiting players?
My main thing is how you buy in. You can be a great athlete. All of us, we have been surrounded by great athletes, and sometimes they don't want to buy in. And if you don't want to buy into what the team is doing, like know your role, you can have a team full of ballers, but if nobody wants to play in the part and nobody wants to go in, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't help anything. If you want to stand out and do your own thing. And sometimes you can have a whole squad full of assassins and get absolutely no. I've seen it. I've played, I watched, and I've seen a team that has been better than us, more skilled, better coached, because we're still learning. So I can admit sometimes, but they had too many stars. It has bit them in the butt. And so the cool thing is
everybody's trying to get the ball. Everybody, the egos.
Everybody wants to shine. And social media will be your worst enemy, because once you get that highlight tape out there, everybody wants a highlight tape.
Of course.
Am I right? Everybody wants to see you step somebody. Everyone wants to see you boom somebody. Everyone wants to see you take it to the house. So guess what? That's almost going to play on my advantage, because if I know that you're a social media guy, I'm probably going to walk away. Yeah.
But what do you consider? What do you mean social media guy? Like a person who's active, or a person who like everything has to be social media? Like what's that mean for you?
Maybe I should fix that, because social media is how you get recognized, because that's how I meet people. So I'm going to take that statement back and be a little more clear. If I see that you're able to pass the ball when you don't, you keep it and try to outrun everybody, and then all of a sudden I see you post it on social media when you really should have passed the ball, because everybody's watching the great play, but you got your teammates wide open. If you just would have spun it the other way and we could have scored easily rather than you outrunning 4 or 5 people, not giving it up, to me, that kind of, that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to win a game, and we're trying to keep you safe because we need you for longevity. Now, if you burn yourself out in the whole tournament trying to run through everybody, that doesn't help us any. We're playing sevens. I need all your energy. So
we got 5 of these games to play to get to a championship.
Yes, we got to play. And we play tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, for real, stop trying to run over 9 guys. You know what I'm saying? Just chill out. You know, stop trying to run over everybody. You know, and it's cool. You know, so yeah, that's what I mean by the social media. Sometimes it'll kill us because we get hungry, because we know if we can put that long run on there, we can make it happen because everybody views it. Yeah, I mean, like, think about it. If there's a highlight tape of you stepping somebody and you not passing the ball and outrunning, taking it 80 meters rather than a team spinning the ball out, that's going to get more likes. That's going to get more hits than the pass to the score.
But the big picture gets lost within that.
Yes. And so to me, sometimes if I see somebody a little bit of a selfish player, they don't want to buy in. Sometimes that's a quick way to get me. I'm not entertained. Marcus is the same way. We're very team oriented.
I feel that. So what does constitute what your ideal player is that you're looking for when putting into a team? I know you mentioned one part, it's team player, but it's very broad in that. For you, what are the types of players that you look for whenever it is that you're trying to put together these teams and set them up?
I love defense. Marcus does too. Yeah, I mean, if you smack people, yes, sir. Like, your offense can be but if you boom, yes, that is a quick way to get our eye, because we are defensive oriented team. People will make fun of me. Hey, listen, if you take video of me on the sidelines, I love defense. I am screaming, running sideways because I come from basketball. I'm a high school varsity basketball coach. So, yes, I'm running the sidelines screaming, telling, hit him, doesn't hit him. I really want you to hit. If you can hit somebody, I fall in love with that player immediately. If I see you playing defense, just doing your thing and smacking everything in sight, I'm on. I'm head over heels.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah.
Yo, I love that.
Yeah, defense, sharing the ball. Like I said, just all around athletes. I like the athletes, I like the underdogs.
Right.
And that's really what I look like. The guy that's maybe sitting on the bench. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, those players get lost with work. They get lost because they have, college. They have lost with their life. Sometimes, their parents. So sometimes a lot of players, they don't get to play. And I understand sometimes coaches can't let players play because they haven't been around. But at the same time, sometimes I feel like that player does need a chance, because I know what it's like that parents. You have to work. You have to help them. You got to, help put food on the table. You got to do some things. So, my time is, hey, I can go when I go. So, sometimes that diamond in the rough is just sitting there. You just got to find them.
Facts.
And so, yeah.
But whenever you guys talk about like underdogs, because I mean, I've seen whatever with Optimus and even with the Harpooners, like you guys got some dogs on the team. So when you're talking about from an underdog standpoint, are you talking about just what is it? The perspective that it is that you're seeing with them? Because if you got guys who are just like rolling, like, and it's just maybe they missed the Eagles, but they had a chance to be an Eagle. Is that an underdog, or is it that you guys are really searching down for almost like the Billy Bean, find that analytics style. Obviously, maybe not using analytics, but that kind of style where it's like you find that person who has that really specific skill that works in this way. Like, what is it that you consider as that underdog take for your players?
All right, the underdog take. Perfect example, John Truex. John Truex is from Chattanooga, Tennessee, D3 rugby player. Okay? Nobody knows, think about it. How familiar are you with Chattanooga, Tennessee? You're never gonna be, yeah. Exactly. So a guy like that, the boys were telling me right before I came to Optimus. I came to Optimus 2 years after Ronda Mundy, made the team together. I came 2 years after 2018. And they told me about this guy. They're like, man, there's this dude that comes from Tennessee, and he is super fast. He's super athletic. He can just flat out go. And I'm like, look at this guy. And, of course, you have my buddy Marcus, who's the former USA Eagle.
Right.
Okay? Marcus will tell you heads up. He doesn't bash anybody, but, he knows a lot of ballers. So if he doesn't know you, or if I ask about him, I'll be like, okay, then, probably whatever. Marcus didn't even know who John Truex was. And then as soon as he went to LA, man, he made a name for himself. Went to LA Sevens, he scored try. He was that dude. That's an underdog player. That's my dude. You know what I mean? So like guys like that. The same thing. Marcus came D3. Marcus was the Panama City Hurricanes, the Division 3 rugby squad. So am I, Division 3 rugby. Here I am in my late 30s playing high-level rugby, at the premier level with the Sevens boys in the tournament. Not, you know what I mean, but just playing.
It's so down. We're not cutting anything off on that one. Yo, it's so down. At the premier level, no disclaimers.
But you know what I'm saying? Just, still being with the athletes, still being able to run around and keep up, that's an underdog, because you don't know where a lot of times these teams, they are very well funded, they're very well coached, and they're very well known. Well, some of these guys, they're not found because, like I said, they already have their group of guys. They already have their networking. And so that's a cool thing. That's what I mean by the underdog, because like I said, there's a lot of awesome teams that are very well funded. They take care of their players. They have awesome coaches with a lot of experience, and they do get the best because we know that ballers attract ballers, right? Nice. So, so when you're an up and coming team, like what Marcus and I have, try to find the underdog because a lot of those big names, they go other places because of the reputation. So we got to
No, that makes perfect sense. Because I know one of the hardest things that come with rugby in the U.S. is being able to really determine where the talent is versus like what is just being told. Like you said, the people that are talked about the most or happen to have gone through the age grade systems may not necessarily be the best, but they are the ones that had the best opportunity to compete at that. Yes. Does not inherently mean that they are the best that is available. So it's a lot of that trying to sift through a lot of dirt to be able to find those diamonds that really didn't have the opportunity, whether it's for money, whether it's the travel was too much, or they just didn't even know the opportunity was present for them and be able to see that. Being able to find those, do you guys just try and get people, and I don't mean to dig too much into your secrets, but I'm going to dig into your secrets and tell you.
Hey, listen, I will tell you, and any rugby player will tell you, I am annoying. They'll tell you, Marky is annoying. I will call you. I will befriend you. Like, I will ask you questions. Hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? Like, I've known you forever. I'm going to be cool with you because I'm going to try to get you on my team. Like, flat out, I'm going to annoy you. So, Freddie Ajuda, right? Plays with Rugby ACL.
Guy who's been on the podcast, he's talked, you got to plug that in. He's been in some time.
Yes. Freddie and I are like this, okay?
Yeah.
I annoyed Freddie for 3 months continuously. And check this out. He used to leave me on red because I know I'd read my message and not respond. And guess what? I pestered him just enough 3 days before LA Sevens to him to join our team. And when he joined our team, I called, I said, I got Freddie. Yes, I got Freddie. And they're like, what? I said, I got him. And, it was cool. And he was actually almost done with rugby. Like, he was literally almost done playing rugby. And
I remember you had some issues with one of the MLR teams and
Yep. And so when that happened, he was like, wow. And I said, I want to create an environment to where people who do feel a certain way towards rugby, maybe it'll give them life. Maybe that guy that was going through a tough time, because we all go through tough times in life, that they put rugby aside until, they can figure things out. Right. Well, then now when they're ready, and they still have it, maybe they can come to us and they can shake some rust off and keep it going. And so, like I said, Freddie came, and we were all in the huddle right after rugby. We took second place in that tournament. It was really awesome with the motley crew of some guys that we put together. And we got in a circle. He said, hey, I really was ready to give up rugby, and now I'm hungry. And now look at him. He's back at Rugby ATL. He played with us in Freetail Sevens. He's played with us in other tournaments. Freddie has never let me down. And like I said, now look, boom. Another guy, another diamond in the rough. There's a guy named Nolan Tuhemahaloa. He's a young guy, played with Utah Warriors. He injured himself, had to rehab himself back. He took a chance on me. Crazy little short guy. I talked his ear off when we were in the hotel room. Just yeah, like I'm doing now. In his ear. Hey, man, hey. And, I befriended him. We became friends. Boom. Now he's over there at Rugby ATL. It's just, it's cool to see that type of development, and those type of guys to come around, and same thing I said, there's a bunch of guys that has came through our program that are doing well. You got Amir, he's with Dallas, Eric Napolsky, the #1 draft pick. He's over there. It's just the list. I can name a list of people. It's awesome. It's really cool to see some of those guys move up. Jalen Tatum, Jalen Tatum, another one of our, that's just, those guys are, to see them start where we're at and give us the chance to show what we can, hey, join us. And they did. They took a chance on us, because that's a cool thing too. Remember, these guys have been offered to go to major teams and go play, but they took a chance on us. And then when they do that, they've done so well, they go and look what they're doing now. And that's, like I said, it's just a blessing in its own. It's just a blessing in itself.
No, that's awesome. I always, one of the things that I've kind of learned over my time in rugby and from both the field side and the off-field stuff is there's always the concept of purpose whenever we do it. I think it's always hard early on. We work on being the best players that we can be, and figuring that, and there's that strong purpose that goes with being able to compete, play with guys, travel, be able to talk smack, have the stories and everything that comes with that. And then I feel like in this other half of it, where you become more involved on the off-field stuff, then you get to watch the development around. You get to see how you can directly utilize this tool of rugby to impact these guys, impact their culture, their lives, all these men, women, and just kind of see how this world can be developed and how it can kind of push people forward. For you, and make loose comparison, but for you, what have you learned in terms of your purpose, your mission that's come with rugby over the course of this time that you've been in this sport? I'm hitting you with the deep questions, make you think.
Yeah. That's a wow. So we do know that with the crazy things that happen in life, sometimes we need an escape.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's rugby is the medicine for people. It gives them a chance to be around people. It makes them feel welcome, because we've all been a part of a team. Or I'm glad if nobody's ever experienced this, I'm going to go ahead and talk about something that people don't like talking about. There's been teams where you're not welcome. Okay, you're a baller. Your team doesn't like you. You're not in a clique. They blame you, but you just don't fit in. Right. Sometimes you outgrow a team. All right. So now you're stuck because you've got these guys that are excellent ball players. And granted, we're all not perfect. Sometimes our attitude can get us kicked off the team because we know friends that are great players, that their attitude has made things worse.
Right.
But sometimes there's a team that is poison, and it does happen because we've all seen it. We've been a part of it. And sometimes we are a part of that poison ourselves. Let's just keep it real.
True story.
That player sometimes can make a player not like rugby anymore. So my whole thing is, if I can take a better player, okay, regardless of my skill set, and wake that person up, to me, that's an awesome feeling. If I can get them going back again, because you see the talent there. And sometimes when you sit back and listen to somebody's story, hey, why aren't you playing here? You know how many MLR guys have made mistakes and now they're not the MLR? You know what I mean? And then somebody maybe gives them that second chance to say, hey, look, I can't pay you, but I got a chance to play these, like Thursday, okay? Or I'm sorry, Friday, we're playing the Seattle Seawolves, okay? What if I can find that person that just needed that second chance? We get him on the roster to play against the Seattle Seawolves. and boom, now another team notices them and takes a chance on that person. To me, we've won. It's not about myself. And to me, I think it's a better thing knowing that we've helped somebody because, like I said, my friends helped me get to where I'm at.
Right.
It may not be big, but to have professional players, to have international players leave teams, join you, call you their brother, and help you. Because like I said, they didn't have to play for us. They could have went somewhere else and got free housing, could have went somewhere else and got this, that, but they took a chance. So my way of saying thank you is like, hey, you guys invested in us, the team. So we're going to invest in that next guy to maybe pull him up. The one guy that actually needs that little extra push. Maybe he's, down and on his luck because he had some things happen. Our way of saying thank you is to pull that guy up that needs to be pulled up. And to me, that's the big thing for me. I want to be able to find that guy that maybe, needs a little help and we get him back to where he needs to be. Because sometimes it's all we need is somebody to believe in us. Because like I said, without the guys, all of our guys, that's what they did. They believed in us, gave us a chance. We were nobody. Nobody knew who we were. Care less. Go play for somebody else they want to, but they didn't. Because I kept calling them and calling them and calling them and calling them and calling them.
It's because I care, and I'm gonna be your knees. I'm gonna get you mental. You'll never.
Yes. Yes. I'm here, baby. You know what I mean? I'm here. Yes. And the funny part is, I always have to tell it because now, like I said, I'm really, not to backtrack, but this is really cool. Our team in Panama City Beach, I have a special spot for the ladies squad. And I hope you keep this in your podcast about this part. The ladies,
I don't cut anything, so.
Okay, listen. The ladies mean a lot to me. I'm going to tell you, the ladies mean a lot to me because the Panama City Beach team, we're going through a growth period right now where we don't have very many men.
Right.
So right now, the ladies were practicing with the men.
Yeah.
Yes, and they were outnumbering the guys. At the time this was going on, which is still going well because the ladies' numbers, they're strong. They're the ones that got me ready to play in the high-level tournaments. So even though the guys were there, which shout out to them, they always let me come Wednesday. And, it's kind of tough when a guy's showing up Wednesday to practice and he's going to play in Atlanta with another team. But the crazy part is the ladies were the ones that were keeping me alive and having me run and pushing me and doing stuff. Without them, I wouldn't be because really there was maybe 4 or 5 guys showing up to sevens. We're talking about sevens. Like 4 or 5 guys showing up for a rugby team. And the ladies are having 10, 12. And so, and that's not knocking my team. That's just the numbers. I'm just being honest. The time was going down.
But that's such a diametric change than what would have been 10, 15 years ago, where it would have been just a pool, just like you're pooling at teeth to get 3, 4 women on a team, especially in a small town like Panama City, let alone to now be able to replace and actually be able to compete. But I think it even stands more to what the nature of rugby is that we play this sport that doesn't distinguish outside of play position between the men and the women. The rules are the same. There's no pulled punches. So whenever you're saying I can practice with them and I'm still being able to keep up, like I'm still able to get what I need to out of it, that speaks volumes to what the culture change this sport does and how it can impact and how it improves just so much, because the sport itself doesn't discriminate. Teams and whatever it can be, but the sport itself, in terms of its rules and regulations, don't discriminate, which is comforting, in a lot of ways.
Yes, and they pushed it. Like, they really pushed me. It was awesome. I was glad to have them there. And, it is funny because, a lot of guys would ask, man, how old are you? I can't believe you're still playing out here. I'm like, yeah. And then ask me, what am I doing? I'm like, hey, man, the ladies on my team have really pushed me. Like, what do you mean? I said, our ladies practice with the guys. I said, and they make up the numbers. And for us to have 7-on-7 or run a full scrimmage, if the lady team is not there, we don't have a full 7-on-7. So we need that. And I rock with that I can say how many tournaments they got me ready for, and it was awesome. So I owe it a lot. So that's why I said, what? Now that the men are established, they kind of have their own thing. Let's bring the ladies along. Right. And so it's been really awesome to see them network and gather themselves. Now the pool for the ladies is just growing. Now the numbers that I have are just like, wow.
That's the thing that you want. Like, and that was always one part of rugby that's kind of had always confused me for a long time. It's like you have the opportunity that you have women's sides that can bring a full audience. It completely changes. Like, they bring a whole different dynamic of attention and action and everything. Like, why are you not developing this? Even the concept of like, yo, why are you trying to diminish the women's game? It made no sense, because like, this is what will make the entire sport stronger. Not trying to be woke or anything, because whatever like that. But it's like, it's legit. It's like, yo, I don't know why for so long, and I'm happy in a lot of cases, it still has its issues, but in a lot of cases that we're starting to see like more attention being put into the women's game, because the two need to elevate together. Like, it can't be on the guys alone. It can't, like.
Yes. And the ladies' games are exciting, man. I mean, hell, when we were at Freetail, man, them games are to the what? They were smacking each other, and they were going at it. So it's just like, the games are really tough. And I was like, I get goosebumps thinking about it. And so it's really funny. And back to what I said about calling and texting, I have to remind the ladies, hey, when I'm calling and texting, I'm just being me, making sure you're still on the team. I got to make sure I don't lose you to the Chicago Lions or lose you to other teams with all the money. I got to call you and make sure we're still cool. Everything's great. I promise I'm not trying to be slick. If you know me, and the girls will tell you, look, I'm just going to call and be annoying. Hey, what's up? How's your dog? How's your cat? I'm not being fake, because I really do like pets. Everybody knows me, knows I like pets. But I'm just saying, I will hit them up. Yo, how's it going? Hey, what's up? They'll be like, look, I promise, I'm just being myself. Just let me keep you on the team. That's all. Let me do what I gotta do to keep you on the squad.
Always be recruiting. Yes, never stop. That's the true secret.
Yes. I will stay. Listen, I will steal. If there's a team, there's somebody I like, and I'm lurking around, I will try my best. I'm trying to steal. Yes, I'm not even going to deny it. If you see me around and you got a few ballers, I suggest you call them, text them, and do something, because I'm going to do it.
That's real. Hey, look, man, people, he put it out there. You know this now. You know this. Go at your own caution.
Yes, man. I'm lurking around, man. If you see me lurking, there's probably somebody fast, somebody that can ball. Yeah, or I'm going to ask, hey, is that your friend? Okay, cool. Hey, they want to play with us? Hey, cool. Here's a t-shirt.
I love it. So, kind of wrapping this up, you guys, with the Hartford Harpooners, you guys have this game coming up at the end of the week, because this will get posted quickly. What does it mean to be able to play this? Because you guys are going to Seattle playing the Seawolves, correct?
Yes, so we are playing them in Tequila.
This is going to be your first full MLR game that you're actually coaching.
Yes.
What does it mean to you to be doing this? And especially in such a short period of time, regardless of what people feel about MLR or whatever's happening, like, that's significant. Like, what does it mean to you to be able to be like, I actually am having a chance to make an impact in this game as a lead?
It starts with the guys that believe in the process. It really does. It means a lot to me and Marcus, and I'm going to talk about him a lot because that's my partner. He's the one, he started it, and he believed in it, and he brought me along. And, when we combined, he goes, look, you can be a partner. This isn't going to be all me. It's going to be you. You're going to be 50-50. And so the cool thing about this is, like you say, it's a dream. You're like, wow, it happens so fast. You still have to, I'm not trying to sound cheesy, but you still have to sit back and you're like, wow. Yeah, it is cheesy because you laugh and you're like, you smile because I don't even know how it happened so fast. Right. It's just everybody believed in the system. And that's what it was. You just had to get people to believe. And it started off with 20 people, like literally 20 people. Marcus had a combine, in Connecticut at a high school. And the numbers were decent, but it was okay. You know what I mean? And we took that team to a tournament in Fort Lauderdale, and we won that tournament. And ever since then, everything's been going just full throttle. And think about it, started with 20, maybe 25 people, maybe, if that. And to see the pool of players that are in the app now asking to play, you know what I mean? And you want to stay humble. You don't want to get a big head because it is crazy because, who am I to tell a former MLR player they didn't make the roster? Right. So that's even more crazy. And it's a blessing, but it's like, whoa. I have to make sure I'm humble because like I said, you're telling a guy that played in the MLR that he didn't make this roster coming up. Right. And you're just like, so that's another hard way. It's not hard way. It's a hard thing to believe that, like, wow. So I'm still pinching myself, man. And I'm still this is new to me. I'm still pinching myself because this is a blessing. But also with Marcus too, it's like, he's played at a top level. He's played at a high level. So sometimes he's Mr. Smooth. He's Mr. Cool. Like, yeah, it's all good. We're coming here. Yeah. And so here I am trying to be smooth like him, but I'm like, go! Let's get it. So you can only be cool so much around me before I'm like, yeah, what I mean? My wheels are always turning. And so, during game time, I do lock in a little bit different, but I just try to stay humble. It is a blessing, but it all starts with the men and the women that believed in the program. Because without them, they're the ones, like I said, they could have played, especially with the level of athletes that we have. They could have played anywhere else, but they bought in, they believed in you, and literally they miss work, they buy flights, they do things out of their own pocket. We try to help as much as we can, but they believed in a program that started with 20 people. And now, like I said, how we're doing this is just a blessing. So when you say what it just means everything. But also, I feel like it only means as much as we can do for the players. What I mean? That's what I mean. Like, if it can make these players happy, then it makes me happy because I want to give the experience. Because this is just, without them, this doesn't happen. Period. Without, you can talk about how great you did it and how great, but without those players, men and women, none of this works. None of this exists. So I'm just pinching myself, man, going along for the ride because I'm really on their coattails.
That's wild. I love it. Dude, that's real. That's so real, man. Mark, bro, how can people find information to you, find information about the Harpooners? Like,
okay. Gotcha. Okay, so we have the Hartford Harpooner Facebook page. All right. Then you have Marcus Satavu. You can look him up on Facebook. You can find him on Instagram. Same with me, Mark Diaz. Okay. Look me up on Facebook. Marky Diaz 82 on Instagram. Hartford Harpooners Rugby. That's on Instagram as well. Send us a message. Show us your highlight tape. Hit us up. You know what I mean? We're going to try our best. We don't, if you're a baller, we're going to find you. I promise we'll find you. And we're going to annoy you, get you on our team. I will call you. So give me your number because I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you. I'm going to Facebook message you. I'm going to get you on the squad. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to at least. But call us. Ask us. If we're playing somewhere and you can jump in, and hey, men and women, if you're interested in playing, give us a shot. We'll try to make this best experience for you as possible.
Dude, I love that. Mark, bro, this has been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad that we got to do this. I love the energy consistent, but I'm really happy to hear all the successes and really just how much of a whirlwind of a year it's been. So, man, I wish you nothing but the best going forward, and that you guys are able to kick ass on Friday.
Friday at 7 p.m. at Tequila at the Starfire Stadium. The Hartford Harpooners will be playing the Seattle Seawolves in a real game, baby. You know what I mean? So it's go time. It's put up or shut up for us. This is the big thing for us. So, the underdogs are playing the MLR boys. It's, this is the chance to show what we got. So we're really excited. And all of us are excited. And I'm probably not going to sleep all Thursday night. You know what I mean? Friday, I'm going to have big circles under my eyes looking crazy. So, I mean, I already know. I already know. Like, I get so excited. Like, I'm thinking the game in my head at night already. Any kind of thing. And it's just, the game has already been played like 5 or 6 times. What if this guy doesn't show up? What if so-and-so happens? What if this happens? I'm all over the place. I'm so wild. I'm so crazy. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm wild. There's a method to my madness. I always say that, but it's a blessing. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be around athletes. That's all it is. It's a blessing from God to have athletes that believe in you and they literally put up with your crazy self, like, especially somebody like me.
A freaking man. Man. Mark, man, thank you so much for coming through, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. God bless. And once again, thank you for the opportunity, man. It's been really awesome. Like I said, taking time out of your day It's been great. You know what I mean? So thank you so much. Like I said, it's been a blessing. I appreciate you, my friend.
Y'all, I want to thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for coming through. I really do appreciate it, guys. If you hadn't had a chance to look back at the catalog, definitely go check out the catalog of podcasts while you have the chance. It's been like 6 months since we've been able to have it updated, and so you got time to check out as we slowly get ourselves back into rhythm. Some amazing people from Naya Tapper to Shetta Amba. We've got Maria Thomas out of Trinidad and Tobago. We have Ram Eddings. We got Phaedra Knight. We got so many people. So many people. I just definitely check it out. And while we start setting up this new catalog for you guys to get ready to listen to, learn more about the people, get more in depth, get even more information, and just be able to know the rugby stories that are out there and the opportunities that you have to take advantage. So in the meantime, you guys, I hope that you guys are happy. I hope that you guys are healthy. And I hope that you guys know that you are going to have a highly favored 2022 because you are highly favored. Until next time, y'all. Cheers.